Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How you doing? This is me, Mr. Get Off the Bench himself, the unapologetic entrepreneur today, guys. And today I told you I had a special one. I know that you see the background's a little different. Let me just let you know I'm broadcasting from New York City today. I'm out here just spending some time with my mom and making sure she's all good. So if you hear any noise in the background, that's what it is. Don't worry about it. But today's show was going to be different. I promised you something different today. I said I'm putting myself on the hot seat. That's right. I am taking all questions and I'm going to answer them. So, all of you that are watching live, let me see, say hello so I know that you're there. Just say hi to me. If you put anything in the chat, I will make it come out here. And you know what? Well, I'll answer your questions. Anything that has to do with mindset, entrepreneurship, or anything that's on your mind, feel free to share. Also, today, I'm going to give you my phone number. You can call in if you can't type, if you're driving and you can't text fast enough. Hey, just call in. I'll answer the phone and we'll take it from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me see if I got any questions. Let me say hi to the people. Let me see. We can see what's going on here. I want to be able to see what's going on in the chat if there's anybody here. Hey, what's going on, Takira? I want to say hello, hello. How you doing? We also have, let's see, who else is here? Anybody else here? You guys got to say hello. Fernica, how you doing? How you doing, guys? Well, I'm getting comfortable in this little hot seat. Let me try to cover my face a little bit. Well, guys, it's all yours. The show is going to be yours. Answer questions. I'm here to answer whatever's on your mind. It could be about entrepreneurship, mindset. Hey, today's the day to let loose. So if you have any questions, please feel free. Who's going to start us off? Well, I'll tell you guys while the questions come in. I'm going to tell you about my week, man. I'm going to tell you about. I am going to talk to you. Let me see. Oh, hi, Alemnish. How you doing? Oh, we got our faithful people. Hey, Ashwin, what's going on? Today is putting the host on the hot seat, just in case you guys are wondering. So please feel free that if you have something that you would like to share, ask a question, ask the question. I'm here to answer any and all questions. I'm your target. Shoot. But while you guys are thinking about the questions you want to ask me regarding anything that is on your mind, entrepreneurship or mindset, let me talk to you about how hard and how easy entrepreneurship is, man. You got to have a switch in your head. Last week, a lot of the things I go through in life would stump some people. And I don't know if they would get up because I feel that entrepreneurship, you take the hits, man. You got to take the hits and get ready to grow with them. In the last week, first of all, I want to say I am extremely proud of what's going on in our family. When I say family, I'm talking about in our business. We got some people really doing some big things and taking adversity head on, because that's what you have to do. You got to be strong enough to face adversity. I'll start with this. So last week, while working, getting everything ready for the second month in the second half of the year, right? Every day I started my morning. Most people wouldn't even know because I always kept a smile on my face and I stayed cool as a cucumber. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Alverson? Um, I get a phone call every morning after I do my devotionals. To the point that I wasn't even sending personal devotionals to people. I really, just started getting back into that. It's something I like to do. But after I read everything that I had to do, I ended up getting a phone call saying that every day my mom was spending the first part of her day in the morning in the hospital. They wouldn't keep her overnight, but every morning she would have to go. She has a device on her that tests her blood sugar that's directly connected to her doctors. And here's the thing, her blood sugar was averaging from 190 to 202 was the highest. I don't know how she hasn't gotten diabetic coma, but that whole week, that last whole week that was happening. I was getting a phone call, getting a phone call. It got so bad that I said, I got to go see what's going on. Because every time I asked what's going on, I was getting vague answers. Meanwhile, at the same token, those that don't know me, I'm a servant type of trainer. We use titles like success coaches, and I really put 100% in helping every agent reach their goal. And I had to figure out how to juggle that. I can't just let it go and just say, okay, this, I know it's my mom. That's not how it works. I have to see where is that. And I was told that I was okay until the time that I had to come. So I came here, and everything I'm doing is right now from the couch, from New York City, watching over my head, just seeing if she's okay, giving her a medication. My uncle does assist a lot. He takes care of her, but still, that's something that I had to work on in my mind, because if this would have been a year ago, business would have gone on pause. I would not have been able to help anyone. I would have been all about me. And I've learned to decompartmentalize my life, take things in pieces, and help how I can. And I think that's something that people really have to see how that would work. Oh, let me make sure I put my phone number on the. By the way, my phone number, if you need to call, I see a question just popped up. If you need to call up, I'm not gonna, obviously I'm only gonna be able, oh, it's already up there. You can call that number. So if you want to ask a question and you want to be live, just call the number and I'll answer my phone and I'll put you on. Usually I put on do not disturb. Let me make sure it's not there yet. It's now on do not disturb. So feel free to call. I think I had a question here. Did it disappear? Let's see. No, I thought a question was there. So first, I want to just make sure I continue to say hi to everybody. I see Sean is up here. I see Alimnish, Takira. If you don't say hi, I can't see you on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. Let's see. Yeah, we got a little hi there. Hello, hello. All right. So how do you guys handle your distractions? How do you do it? I know I end up, a lot of it's through prayer for me. But how do you do it? Hey, Carla, how you doing? Again, if you guys have any questions, now's your chance. Happy Friday, Cindy. Oh, we do have a question here. All right. What is the best way an introvert can gain clients, not recruits, without leads? All right, that's a great question. And I'm gonna tell you why I feel I'm certified to answer that question. Because I'm an introvert. But here's the thing, Fernica. Being an introvert is not an excuse, because introverted doesn't mean that you can't have a conversation. See, people, as far as to gain clients, you gotta, we're in the relationship business. So if people don't know what you do, if you can't have a simple conversation about what you do and how you help people, how can people really come to you? You got to open yourself up. Start a conversation. The only thing that's blocking you is that you're making this harder than it is. When you have to have a conversation at work or with your spouse, how you ended up in a relationship with your spouse, it didn't happen through Morse code or smoke signals. There was a conversation. You got to know them, right? It's the same idea. How do you why are having, or I don't know if you have, but everyone that you know, that you've come across, do they know exactly what you do? Do they know how passionate you are about what you do? Have you told them how you helped other people? Have you had people speak for you? See, these things like that are very important, but it starts with a conversation. You literally have to talk to someone. You literally have to introduce yourself. And an icebreaker is give people compliments. We've talked about this, and this is good that it's on the air now. Papi, bájale un poco. We've spoken about this before. Is to start with a compliment. All of us, we're not used to hearing compliments. It's a simple conversation, and then let people know what you do. It's when you ask and you care about what people do, they're gonna do the same with you. So I'm telling you, if you start getting out more, here's the thing. Here's the one thing that stops most introverts. They don't go out. But when you go to a supermarket, say hi to a person, get in the line, say hi to the person in front of you and behind you. As you walk, say good morning to people. You'll be surprised how that opens the doors for you to just have a conversation. And I'll tell you, you should start with that. But the easiest way to start is with all the people on your device. That phone right there, my phone alone has over 2,000 people. You can even start with your family members. How many of your family members know what you do? I'm telling you, you have to start having more conversations. But I hope that answered your question. If not, come back and we can have a conversation about it. In fact, you can call the phone number. You guys, the phone number will pop up. What's a non-negotiable in your daily routine that keeps you feeling unstoppable? Non-negotiable. To stop me from my a non-negotiable is that I have to start my morning the same way as always. I would Getting me out of my routine in the morning, I think, is what protects me from what's to come in the day. See, every day that I wake up is unpredictable. We don't know we live in an unpredictable world, but our business is very simple, but yet not easy. I'll tell you why. Because you never know what you're going to get. We are taking care and helping people with their financial problems, right? In my industry, some people do roofing, they're helping people making sure that their roof is intact. Some people do air conditioning, they're making sure that people are cool in this hot weather. Well, even here in New York it's hot. So you're dealing with a different problem, right? But don't forget that those people that are helping people have their own problems. So you have to be shielded and ready for that. It does help being part of an organization or a family or having a great support system, because that helps you. But one of the things there's a non-negotiable for me is just having excuses for not being able to handle my business. Um, right now, I could have very easily canceled this whole week. I could have canceled this podcast. I could have, being an entrepreneur, it gives you freedom. And sometimes that freedom, if used the wrong way, can really hurt you. But I have every reason to, that most people would understand. I don't think my mentor would let me get away with it for too long, maybe for a day or two. But like I said, I've taken hits this year, and it hasn't stopped me. So a non negotiable for me is not to ever stop being who I am. When you own a business, your business it's a living organism, just like your kid. You have to at the beginning, you have to change the baby, you have to feed the baby, you have to nurture the baby. Who am I to leave my kid? And just, you got to find a way. And the way I find a way, Cherry, honestly, is through prayer and the grace and mercy of of our Savior, because he makes sure that I have time to do everything that gets placed in front of me. I do firmly believe that God doesn't put anything on your plate that you can't handle. Hope that answered your question. Ooh, they're getting deep here. I've learned, let's see what we said here. I've learned to talk to at least one new person a day. That is all to you, Fernica. Look at that. We have another introvert telling you exactly what she has done. It is literally something you have to do intentionally. Alimnish has made it her business with intentionality to actually speak to at least one person regarding what she does. And you know what that does? That compounds over time. Now it's easier to talk to two people, maybe even three. I'm telling you, it's just one conversation away. One conversation away. Because everybody needs what you do, but they don't know until you tell them. Oh, and she's even giving you advice. I love how you're getting in here. And go to new and frequent places you like to meet people. There's a lot of groups online too. Um, if you're all about staying behind the keyboard, which I'm not, you could easily stay behind the keyboard and join different groups. There's a lot of people looking for different types of things, and there's a lot of introverts out there that have conversations. And in this day and age, people get married from just meeting people online. So, what makes you think you can't get business that way? I'm telling you, it's all about being brave enough and bold enough to put yourself out there and have a conversation. So, being an introvert is not an excuse at all. Right here, we have another question. What do most brokers overlook when it comes to long term relationships that is keeping clients loyal? What is some what what do most brokers overlook when it comes to long term relationships that is keeping clients loyal? All right, I think I know what you're saying, but one of the things that's overlooked, a lot of brokers are like hit and runs. They help a client, and the next time they ever hear or talk to that client is if the client misses a payment, or if they get called saying that the client passed away. It's very important to have open lines of communication. Don't be afraid to reach out. Always say hi, because remember, in when you're talking about brokers, that's a spot that hits home. They're not buying the product. There's thousands of brokers out there, hundreds, millions. There's so many brokers out there. When they sit down and decide to make a choice to allow you to help them, it's you that they're really purchasing. It's you. It's your personality. It's your temperament. It's your heart. It's the way you care. They feel safe. But the minute you break that, they can find somebody else, so they don't, it's no longer important to them. So I think it's overlooked to keep having communication. When was the last time, and this is a question that I ask myself a lot, is when was the last time you checked in on a few of them? Just saying hi. Just say hi. You'll be surprised how many brokers do not do that. And I know your book of business, and you end up getting a large book of business, and life is, life be life, and as some people say. So it doesn't leave you so much time, but a text message isn't hard to do. Send them a text, save them on your phone as client. And one day just write on your search bar client and just start calling them. You'll be surprised also how many of those clients say, I was gonna call you. Oh my God, my sister's in town. And there you go. They're giving you referrals because you have a relationship that's built. So don't be afraid to call them. I think that is something that's really overlooked, is the human touch. See, AI is taking over the world, right? But AI can never replace you, Carla, as a broker. Never. You know why? Two reasons. One is because AI cannot get licensed to do what you do. Plain and simple. That's number one. Number two, AI does not have a human touch to it. It might speak like a human, it might be able to text like a human, but the human empathy that comes from your mouth and the caring, it can't it can't be imitated. Your heart cannot be imitated. And remember that always when you're serving people, you should serve them with your heart. I think that was that one. Let me see. Oh, Fernica said thank you to Elimnish, and I guess you're thanking me too. Well, you're welcome. Start getting involved, man, guys. Start talking. Oh, we got another one. Here's another thing. Send birthday cards. This is from Mr. Alverson, Sean. He is saying send birthday cards. Um, Communication, I think, is always about that human touch. You could send birthday cards, text messages. Um, if they live by you, knock on the door sometime. And you'll be surprised how many clients have invited me to parties. And That's the relationship building part is so big, man. So big when it comes to that. And I see I have a lot of insurance agents. That's great. Anybody else got a question? Let's see. Man, that non-negotiable one got me there. Ooh, still thinking about it. By the way, if your phone number, what is that? What's your advice to someone who truly believes in themselves but hasn't seen results yet? Ooh, I don't know who asked that, but I got an answer for you. Well, first of all, if you believe in yourself, let me ask you, do you, and you don't have to answer this, obviously, you're not on the phone, otherwise, I would ask you, but do you have a support system? Do you have uh, a mentor? Why am I asking you these things? Because even in all the belief you can have in yourself, sometimes if you don't see results, that starts to see you start to see it starts to wither. So here's what I would say as advice. What are you grateful for? Start there. Start being grateful for everything. Start looking at the glass half full as opposed to half empty. Start looking at the things that are working out. And all that is going to compound and you will see results. The one thing you have to learn in this business or in your business, which I'm assuming you're a broker, I don't know who you are. But one of the things you do have to learn in all business is patience. It's almost like a game, and you probably heard on one of my podcasts before, is almost like a game of hurry up and wait. You know, you rush and rush and rush to get through to get all you need, all the education, and start doing things, and you're not seeing what everybody else is seeing. You definitely have to be patient. But the key is not to stop believing in yourself and don't stop. Keep going because you're gonna see the results. You're gonna see the results if you hang in there and keep going. Remember, rain could only last but so long. You know, an entrepreneur goes through seasons. Sometimes you got to keep throwing out seeds, and then another part of the season is when you just start to reap from all that planting. So you got to keep moving forward. Always make sure you stay in contact with your mentor and have that open communication where you're open to criticism because it could be something you need to tweak. You know, belief is a great portion of everything, but it's not the only thing. You got to be able to execute the things that you are being taught. It doesn't matter the field that you're in. At the end of the day, you got to know execution. Oh, we got some birthday cards there again. Okay. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong one. Let me see. Where is my phone number? For anybody that's not too shy, let's see. Uh, if you could put my phone number up in there, it would be great. Boom, there you go. 201-328-6108. If you feel like you want to be froggy, just leap. Make the phone call. We'll put you live and see what you we'll see what question you may have. I thought my phone was ringing. What about I'm here thinking about going through adversity in the business. I'm surprised, but that's where I'm at now, right now. Right, you know, I'm literally looking at my business and I'm going through adversity and I'm just pushing through. And it's the same advice I just gave whoever asked that question. You know, I can't stop. You can't stop. People depend on you. People depend on you to help them. That's the responsibility I took. So I have to own up to that. Let's see. Anybody? Let's see what's one financial. Oh, okay, here we go. What's one financial mistake you made early on that taught you a big lesson? Well, financially is one of those things finance is one of those things I've learned in this business, or in business, is that every dollar that comes in, you first got to reinvest in your business before you invest in yourself. So I have foolishly spent money early in my career, especially when I left teaching, where every number, every dollar had an assignment. You know, I was living paycheck to paycheck, even with the great salary I had. and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And when I started working as an entrepreneur, I the money I was seeing, I wasn't reinvesting into the business. I was living the same way I was living, paycheck to paycheck. But here's what happens: once you have extra money, you start overspending too. And I had to learn how to save some money for those rainy days. So you'll make a certain, like I just said, business goes through seasons. So you have to learn how to have that balance, um, of not spending money but investing it. So I didn't know how to invest in my business so it pays me back. I was spending money, not investing it. Everything should be an investment, even to the clothes you wear. I started thinking more about how would this help my business grow as opposed to I want that. So financially, I was very irresponsible. And what's another thing? This is going to be a little tough to get through, but I was afraid of success. And with being afraid of success, one of the things that you naturally do is that you self sabotage. So, what do I mean by that? Once I was making excess amount of money, I would find ways to give it away, lend it. If people asked me, it was okay. And one thing I learned early on from my mom is don't lend money away thinking it's going to come back. If you're going to lend money away, don't expect to see it again. That way you won't be disappointed because money can break relationships. So you got to be careful and not self sabotage. And that's one of the things I did when it came financially. I was financially irresponsible. So it's like if I have money and you needed money, here you go. I would think so greatly that you were going to give it back that it wouldn't bother me. I would spend it without even thinking. And that started to hurt because at one point during that slow season, when I couldn't figure out what was going on, I was dealing with adversities, business wasn't coming through the door. I almost ended up homeless. So being financial irresponsible is a very big deal. I hope that answered that. I hope if any. I hope anybody thinks about that and is very careful about their money. Thinking about your professional path, what was a moment that truly challenged or disappointed you? And then what was something you validated your efforts and brought you immense reward? Hmm. I'm going to talk to you about my recent professional path. What was a moment that truly challenged you? Well, there was a time, maybe 8, 9 months ago, that I wasn't really conscious of certain things I was saying or doing. And I was making poor decisions, not only on for my business, but just in life. And I'm not talking about drugs and alcohol or anything like that. Before anybody starts thinking that, it's just poor decisions. Not caring enough, not really leading with my heart, basically not thinking before speaking. And I think that hurt me, and also I hurt others. When I saw I was hurting other people, that really bothered me. So what did I do? I had a conversation with myself. I was disappointed in the results I was getting, and I seek mentorship in all three facets of my life: personal, spiritual, and mental. And in seeking mentorship and having conversations and asking for forgiveness, changed me. So I think this answers both parts of your questions because I was highly disappointed in myself. And I couldn't even tell you where it came from, but I could tell you that having to find that within me, seeing that that wasn't really who I am and that I was capable and better than what I was showing and displaying, through mentorship, it really set me straight, and it put me on the right path. And now that really not only changed me and the trajectory of how I was helping people and helping other other agents, but what it did is it made me feel free. and it gave me a sense of liberty. And I'm truly happy with not the change, but the transformation I've gone through. I still can't believe it. Other people see it more than I do sometimes because I guess it was always in me. I just needed someone to help me get it out. So, as far as rewards, like things I've been able to accomplish, I don't know if it's hit yet. I'm proud of myself, but I'm more proud of the people around me than of myself. I don't, that joy is very temporary. So I hope that answers your question. Oh, as CEO of the struggle, I believe in the vision. I believe, I believe in the vision, but I'm broke right now. How do you balance faith and frustration? You can't have faith and frustration because if you have faith that you believe that it's going to come through, you have to have more faith than frustration. Frustration should be temporary. Frustration should be temporary. It should be all about faith. Sorry about that. It should be all faith. It's like saying that if you can't have faith and fear in the same vessel either. So you got to maintain strong and faithful. You got to have people that pour into you and push you, and you got to seek help. And I don't mean like, again, I don't mean like AA and things like that. I mean have conversations that are fruitful, that are gonna lift you, uplift you, not bring you down. Always speak to people that can pull you up. And I guarantee you, CEO of struggle, all those people are around you. All those people, there's a lot of people I'm sure that you just haven't tapped into that want to see you win. I tell you that as much as Facebook and Instagram always show, all different types of things, when you put things that you're winning, people actually congratulate you. There are some haters, but let the haters hate. If no one hates, then you're not doing your job. But at the end of the day, you can't have faith and frustration. You got to surpass that frustration by having faith and surrounding yourself about the right people. And definitely, I'm telling you, mentorship is one of the things that are big, big, big in entrepreneurship. Especially when you're a CEO of some, you have some kind of business, even if it's a side hustle. There's somebody that you can reach up to, and you definitely, that's what I would do, because you can't, don't let the frustration build where the faith gets diminished. I hope that answered your question. What's one thing you wish someone had told you earlier about growing a team or agency the right way? Something you had to learn the hard way. Hmm. When it came into my organization, something I wish someone would have told me early. I didn't listen. I was told, but I was told to start building right away because you grow together. But you got to have a big heart. You got to have a big heart. Oh, I'm getting a phone call, but I'm going to answer this question and I'm going to hold you there. You got to have a big heart. Wait, I'll be right with you. You got to have a big heart when you are building something, because in my opinion, everyone comes with about five personalities, and you got to be able to tend to each and every one of them. You can't be emotional. It can't be an emotional. You can't act on your emotions. Yes, you can have them, but you can't act on your emotions. You have to be more, you have to see the best in the person and feed that. Because if you feed to your emotion, like if you end up getting frustrated, everything will collapse. Your foundation will be broken. You got to be as fair as possible. Um, I think that's something I wish someone would have prepared me with, to the emotional piece, because emotions can tear anything you're building. I do have someone on the line, and who is this?
It is Takira.
Oh, how
Hello,
you doing,
everyone.
Takira? Go ahead. What's your question?
Really, okay, before I ask my question, I really called in to because what the CEO struggle just asked, it kind of just hit me. Like, he said that, or she said that she has the vision, but she's broken. And
Oh, I didn't
how
see
do
that.
he balance faith? Yeah,
Oh.
that they have the vision, and but he's broken. And how do you balance? I think he said faith and frustration. And you started talking about how you faith and frustration can't live in the same place. And I just wanted to add something to that, because a lot of people coming into the business, we always say you can come in broke or broken, but you can be broke in two different ways. You can be actually broke financially, and then you can be broken in your faith. And I believe that frustration comes before you have the faith, because you're so frustrated. It's like almost you're not putting everything and just letting it go and walking by sight. You just walking by sight. So it's just when he or she said that, I wanted to just give them like, just keep pushing, just keep moving. Surround yourself around people that are winning, that's going to have your back, that's willing to mentor you and give you positive things on a daily basis. Because guess what? The world we work in, the industry we are in, you're going to have some good days and you're going to have some bad days, right? But it's the way you deal with your bad days. It's the way you take on your adversities. And it's going to happen. But through all that frustration, through all the adversity, through all the ups, through all the downs, that is what's building you to become that CEO and no longer in a struggle. So that's basically what I wanted to, why I called up, is to say something to that person.
All right. Well, thank you for that commentary. And that is a lot to write down in text, but I appreciate that. And they all heard you, and it's in the recording. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Takira.
You're welcome.
We got more. Oh, we got a lot of this. Focus on the things you can control. Oh, man, that's so big, Cherry. Control. Ready? If you're writing things down, anybody, CEO, um, anybody, CEO of Struggle, whichever, or anybody on this, control the controllables. I heard that throughout my career by so many different leaders. I have been one of the people that try to control the things I cannot control. I can't control whether the person I'm sitting across from, I'm going to be helping them or not. I can't control if they even show up. I can't control if I'm even going to be able to help somebody today. What I can control is my activity to get someone, my activity to meet someone new, my activity to to stay and have a great day. Look, guys, one thing I've learned, I think, yeah, after I watched the movie Straw, I would not say I had a bad day anymore. All we had is bad moments. You have a bad moment, shake it off and control the things you can control. Act from a moment, from a place of gratitude. And it's kind of hard to be mad and happy at the same time. You ever noticed? Have you ever tried that? Have you ever tried to cry while you're crying, laugh and still be crying? It's kind of hard. Your tears dry up and you become, it's more joy than anything else. So Queen Queen of what ifs. Wow, I got some different ones here today. So I would tell you, control the controllables is a big one. What's your advice for someone scared to take the leap, even when the door is wide open? Man, this is all about faith, man. You really got to have a lot of faith. You got to have that belief. If the door is wide open, I don't know what you're scared of. I really don't. Look, my brother died 7 years ago. My brother was in hospice care. I actually held my brother's hand as he took his last breaths. I hope no one ever has to go through that. Why am I painting this picture for you? Because during those 6 weeks that he was in hospice, they gave him 8 weeks to live. He died in six. During those 6 weeks, we will have some interesting conversations. When you know, when you have a clock that's been clocked and you see the ticks going, I think the way you think in your conversations are a little deeper. So during those 6 weeks I was with him and we had these intimate conversations, he told me one thing that stuck with me that I'm going to tell you today. This life you have right now is not a dress rehearsal. You can either live or you can exist. There's a difference between living and existing. Your fear of taking the leap is having you exist. You should take the leap because you'll live. At the end of the day, you can't fly until you jump. So I hope that answers the question for you. You should not be afraid to risk. There's a poem called A Dilemma, and it talks about risk. Read the last stanza. I would look for it right now, but it would take longer. But it basically says, he who risks nothing, does nothing, is nothing. I prefer that you were someone as opposed to no one. Take the leap. That's my word of advice for you. Queen of what ifs. I like your name, Queen of What Ifs. Who is that? Anybody else got any questions? Oh man, this was interesting. It's getting interesting with some of these questions. Oh, we got another response here. For you, Queen of What Ifs, you need to go out. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You are not scared. You just don't want to do it. You're not scared. You just don't want to do it. Get out of your comfort zone. We were in a mastermind that you guys saw me advertise here for Atlanta, and one of our great leaders that I've had on this show, by the name of Mr. Omar Mitchell, said, "You can stay in a comfort zone. It makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside, being comfortable. But you know what? Nothing good grows in comfort." I'll take it even a step further. As a teacher, we used to do these little plants and put them in cups. And every kid had to realize when it was time to take it out of that cup and put it somewhere else. Because if you left it in that cup, the roots will keep growing. And out of being, what ended up doing is he would think that the cup was leaving the plant comfortable. And you know what ended up happening to that plant? It died. He had to take it out of its comfort zone and put them in a bigger vase so it could grow. Guys, you gotta act, move, continue to move. That's the way you grow. Mami, estoy en Facebook. Todo el mundo la está oyendo. Thank you. Had to do that. Had to do that. Sorry. Yeah. Gotta love it. This is live, baby. Anybody got any other questions? Guys, it is 5:42. Do we have any more comments or questions? Ma, en serio? Bye. Woo. Let me see. Do I have one more coming up? Any more comments or questions? Well, guys, next week I'm gonna have a guest on. Oh, wait, we got one. How do you translate that fear that many clients have to not stay stagnant? You got to give me more than that. What do you mean by that? That fear that clients have to not stay stagnant. I'm not sure which direction you're going with that, Eliminus. You got to give me more. What do you mean? Give an example. Call the line. Tell me something, because it's hard to relate to what fear. Clients have a lot of fears. When I speak to clients, one of the fears that I see is the fear of change. They don't want change. They're scared of change. They can't adapt to change. They're what they have these crazy thoughts. What if I do this? This is gonna happen. I don't know how to overcome that. If that's the fear you're talking about, the way I overcome it is with facts. When I talk to clients, I always tell them documentation beats conversation all the time. So no matter what I'm telling them, they could always read it. And what they read is what's accurate. So if you're able to show them, give them examples, show them stories, it's very important to know stories that you can relate to, that they can relate to help them get away from those fears. But I'm assuming that's the fear you're talking about. Stagnation it's really hard because everybody battles it different. So I always tell them documentation beats conversation. Anything that you can show them as proof is the way to get people moving. Now they're still going to make a decision. At the end of the day, they're still going to make a decision. Your job is to put them in the best position to make a decision that's going to be for them. Now, if you're talking about, especially in your business, which I know you're in insurance, um, there's so many things protecting clients. Things have to be suitable. There has to be compliancy. So for you to be able to help them, there's things that are in place to already help them, and maybe letting them know that might help create that security blanket that they need, because it's all fear. It's just fear of change, in my opinion. I hope that answered your question. You guys have had some good questions. A lot of brokers here. Yeah, not in some mindset. And thanks for the participation. I want to say thank you to all of you that have been watching. And wait, we got Unbothered Man. These names, Unbothered Man. How do you protect your peace when you're dealing with toxic people in business? Now, I would love to know what you're doing, know what field you're in. In our field, it's a little different. But the way you protect your peace is by avoiding toxic people. Now, are you able to avoid, or are you able to? I don't know. How do you work with these people? Is it something that in your business, do you have to work with them hand in hand? Because if that's the case, you really got to figure out how to work in a peaceful situation. I don't know what you do in order to give you a great answer, but in my business, dealing with toxic people, see, part of our business is mindset. So we read a lot of books on mindset. We do a lot of mentoring. We do a lot of guiding, self improvement. Not everybody comes in self improved. You know, some people have to read. One thing is, if they're trying and you're giving suggestions, be a little patient, give them a little wisdom. But if they're just toxic to the core and you don't have to work with them, don't. Don't. The thing about entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurship gives you back your power. You know, you have choices. And I'm glad to say that in my field, I'm always able to protect my peace. I got to do a good job of not being toxic. And for that, I do a lot of self developing. So, Mr. Unbothered Man, I have no idea what field you're in, but good luck to you. I'll pray for you. Um, but I definitely know that you gotta, if there's somebody we're working with, and you have to be patient. You got to get to the root of why they're toxic. I'm very patient. I wasn't always this way. It's something I've progressively gotten better, and I'm still a work in progress. But it's all about making sure that we're in the people business. So you can't save everyone, but not everyone. People have certain traits and certain things they're going through that make them bitter and make them toxic. If you can get to the root of that problem and help them out, especially if it's in entrepreneurship, send them a book to read. They got to do part of the work. If not, you can't work with that person, because the last thing you want to do is let that grow on you. You must protect your peace. That was you guys got some creative names. I wish I knew who you were. That was a good one. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for playing along and putting me in the hot seat. Some of these questions were a lot tougher than I made them seem. I'm not gonna lie to you. You guys, thank you for playing along. Next week we're gonna have a guest, and our guest, I'll leave it as a surprise. I think it's time to start bringing in some guests and see if we put them in the hot seat and learn about some other businesses out there. Uh, Thank you for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Also share. And shameless plug, I'm still looking for 3 more people. I've been able to fill the roster with 7. So I got 3 more people that I'm able to help in my business, help them out if they're ready to build a legacy, not just a career. I'm looking for 3 more people. So feel free to call my phone number, which is already on the flyer, which is the same number we used today. That is my shameless plug for the day. And I want you guys to just stay conscious and stay strong in your business. Weather through the storms. Remember, storms pass. It's all a season. It's only a season. Hang in there. Stay connected with people that love you, that are looking to raise you and help you do good. Um, Clap for others until it's time for them to clap for you. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to give you this time. And I'm so honored that you guys gave me yours, because the one thing I can't give back. With all that being said, guys, thank you for coming. God bless ya. Be blessed.